Bright lights, flashing cameras, a man with tattoos and a voice that can melt hearts or break them in seconds. To the world, Adam Levine is the smooth-talking frontman of Maroon 5, the golden boy of pop rock, the charming coach on The Voice, the symbol of effortless cool. But behind the charisma lies a story much louder than his music, a story of rebellion, loss, obsession, and redemption. He was never just a singer. He was a mirror of modern fame, brilliant, flawed, and dangerously human. From teenage dreams in Los Angeles to worldwide stardom, from chart-topping hits to headline scandals, Adam's journey became a symphony of desire and downfall. And as the world watched him rise, fall, and rise again, one question remained. How did a restless kid with a broken heart become the voice of an entire generation? And what did it cost him? Adam Noah Levine was born in Los Angeles in 1979, the city of angels and illusions. His father, Fred Levine, owned a clothing store. His mother, Patsy Noah, worked as an admissions counselor. But it wasn't a picture-perfect family. When Adam was just 7, his parents' marriage fell apart, leaving him to grow up between two very different worlds. One home was structured and calm. The other was full of music, laughter, and late-night chaos. Somewhere between those walls, a young boy found rhythm, and maybe escape. Adam often said that music saved him. He would listen to Stevie Wonder, Prince, and the Beatles on repeat, singing until his voice cracked. It was how he survived loneliness. He struggled in school, diagnosed with ADHD, restless and distracted. Teachers called him unfocused. But what they didn't see was a boy hearing melodies in everything. Behind the confident smile the world would one day know, there was a child learning to use pain as fuel, heartbreak as harmony. Los Angeles gave him sunshine and shadows, and Adam Levine would grow up carrying both in his songs. By high school, Adam had found his tribe, a group of friends who shared the same obsession with music. Together they formed a band called Kara's Flowers, named after the girl they all secretly admired. In 1997, at just 18, they landed a record deal and released their debut album, The Fourth World. It was supposed to be their big break, but it wasn't. The album flopped. Sales were flat, critics were indifferent, and the label dropped them. For most teenagers, that would have been the end. For Adam, it was the beginning. He left Los Angeles and moved to New York City, enrolling in Five Towns College. There, surrounded by jazz, R&B, and hip-hop, his sound and his identity began to shift. He discovered Marvin Gaye, Lauryn Hill, and the raw emotion behind soul music. When he returned home, Kara's Flowers was reborn as Maroon 5, older, wiser, and hungry. They poured heartbreak and frustration into every song. Out of that fire came Songs About Jane, 2002, an album named after Adam's former girlfriend, filled with longing, lust, and confession. No one expected what happened next. One voice, one heartbreak, and suddenly, the world was listening. Songs About Jane exploded like wildfire. This Love, She Will Be Loved, and Sunday Morning weren't just hits. They became anthems of the 2000s. Adam's smoky voice, aching and confident all at once, was something pop hadn't heard in years. Maroon 5 went from playing college bars to selling out arenas. Grammy Awards followed. Magazine covers, endorsements, screaming fans. The boy who once felt invisible was now everywhere. Adam became more than a frontman. He became a symbol. Tattoos, fitted shirts, sharp humor, and a look that blended rock rebellion with Hollywood polish. To some, he was a sex symbol. To others, he was the voice of modern heartbreak. Then came The Voice. When the reality show debuted in 2011, Adam's charm and quick wit made him a natural star on television. Millions watched him every week, mentoring new singers, trading jokes with Blake Shelton, and spinning his red chair to discover raw talent. Suddenly, he wasn't just a musician. He was America's sweetheart of rock pop. Every move, every smirk, every word was televised, tweeted, and replayed. But behind the confidence, the pressure grew. Fame was no longer a dream. It was a demand. Adam once said in an interview, "People think fame changes you. It doesn't. It just exposes who you already are." At his peak, he had it all: success, fame, fortune, family. And yet, somewhere beneath the applause, something fragile was beginning to crack. Fame, for Adam Levine, was both a crown and a cage. The world saw the confident rock star, but fame magnified every crack beneath the surface. Life on tour blurred into endless nights, parties, and pressure. Behind the laughter on The Voice, exhaustion and temptation crept in. The cameras loved him, maybe too much. Rumors began to follow: ego clashes, tension within Maroon 5, whispers of arrogance. Some critics called him Hollywood's prettiest narcissist. But the real storm came years later. In 2022, headlines exploded. Messages leaked online, accusations of infidelity. The world watched, stunned, as Adam's private texts became public memes. For a man known for love songs, the irony was cruel. He denied physical affairs, but admitted to crossing the line. In an Instagram statement, he wrote, "I used poor judgment in speaking with anyone other than my wife in any kind of flirtatious manner. I didn't have an affair, but I crossed the line." Fans were divided. Some defended him, others saw another fallen idol. Late-night hosts joked about it. The internet turned his shame into entertainment. For Adam, it was a reckoning. The perfection he'd built, the smooth voice, the charm, the flawless image, cracked wide open. Behind the spotlight, a father and husband faced the mirror, forced to ask who he'd become, and for the first time in years, Adam Levine fell silent. Not on stage, but inside. When the noise faded, Adam did something rare in Hollywood. He stepped back. He stopped chasing headlines, stopped posting, stopped trying to prove. After the scandal, he withdrew from The Voice, choosing family over fame. Paparazzi photos shifted. No longer stages and red carpets, but beach walks with his wife, Bahati Prinsloo, and their children. He once said in an interview, "I don't need to be everywhere anymore. I just need to be home." That honesty became his quiet rebellion. In time, the jokes faded. The outrage died down, and Adam did what he always did best. He turned pain into music. Maroon 5 returned with softer tones, more introspective lyrics. The confidence was still there, but so was humility. He started focusing on causes he cared about: mental health, children's hospitals, animal protection, not for attention, but to make sense of everything he'd lived through. The tattoos, the swagger, the smirk, they remained. But there was something different behind the eyes now. A man who had learned the cost of his own reflection. The world had seen his mistakes. Now they could see his growth. Adam Levine had found what fame could never give him: peace. In the end, Adam Levine's story isn't just about fame. It's about the fight to stay human within it. He was the rebel who turned heartbreak into harmony, the rock star who fell from grace and dared to rise again. Through the chaos of spotlight and scandal, his voice endured, sometimes defiant, sometimes fragile, but always honest. Every song, every performance, carried the echo of a man still learning who he is beneath the stage lights. For millions, his music became a mirror of love, regret, and redemption. He reminded us that even the most confident faces hide uncertain hearts. The journey of Adam Levine reminds us that perfection is an illusion, but honesty, even when it hurts, is where real beauty begins. From Los Angeles rooftops to sold-out arenas, from silence to song, Adam Levine remains what he's always been: a voice that refuses to fade. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more untold Hollywood tales, only on Stars and Scandals.